So thank you once again for joining this Canada Specialist Program webinar. Our next update is with Sean from WestJet. Sean, over to you.
Thanks, Charlie. Hi, everyone. Thanks again for taking time out of your days today to sit and listen to us talk about our airline products serving Europe and Canada. I know you're very, very busy, so I do appreciate the time. So WestJet, who are we? So WestJet, we are Canada's second largest airline, and we were formed back in 1996, and we're based out in Calgary in Western Canada, hence the name WestJet. So we provide scheduled services to over 100 destinations across the US, Canada, Mexico, and Europe. And just this year, we launched our very first service to Asia with a direct flight from Calgary to Tokyo. So probably not aimed at our market, but if you ever have a customer who wants to go to Japan and do something extra, you can now fly WestJet and stop off in the Rockies and then make their way to Japan. So our global hub is in Calgary, and we believe that having a hub out of Calgary makes us the ideal carrier for your customers who are looking for twin center holidays. One of the very good things about flying with WestJet through Calgary is that connecting through to the USA, you can clear US pre-clearance in Calgary, which means they arrive as a domestic. And because Calgary is one of the smaller airports in Canada, the queue's never that long. So it's a really good selling point if you've got customers who are flying to Las Vegas. An interesting fact about Vegas and WestJet is that our #1 route is obviously Calgary, but our second most popular route out of the UK is Las Vegas. So we're doing something right there. So this year, WestJet embarked on its new strategy. Some of you might remember we had hubs across Canada. So we had a Vancouver, a Toronto, and a Calgary. But this year we have consolidated everything into Calgary. So Calgary is our new global hub. And as you can see, it's the first pillar in our new strategy, being out west. Second pillar is leisure. What do we do best? We do leisure really, really well. So we're focusing on leisure. And then finally, we're looking at reducing our costs. So not a low-cost airline from Europe, but a low-cost operational base, which means we can keep our fares more attractive for you and your clients. So where are we going? No surprise, we fly to Canada. From the UK, we fly from London Heathrow all year round, a daily service from Terminal 4. From the North Terminal in Gatwick, we fly a daily service in the summer season, so from April to October. And in the Scottish market, we fly from Edinburgh 3 times a week to Calgary. And then from Dublin, we fly 5 times a week to Calgary as well. And these services are outside of Heathrow. These services are seasonal from April to October. So how will we get you there? And I don't mean how will we get you on your holidays. I mean, what can we do to support you in your daily lives as travel agents? So in the UK and Ireland, WestJet is represented by APG. So I don't work for WestJet. I actually work for APG. So WestJet is my client. We have offices here in London, based at Heathrow, and we have an office in the city centre in Dublin. We have 2 dedicated account managers responsible for everything that you will need help with your WestJet bookings. And our reservations team is headed up by our very own Sonia Chopra, who is an ATP co-specialist. There is nothing she doesn't know about fares and fare loading and fare filing. And she is a valuable source for us and a really good contact for you guys. So what can we do for you at APG? So there's a couple of things we can do to make your lives easier as travel agents. So for example, you've issued your tickets 45 days before departure, and a week later your client calls you up and says, I can't fly on the Monday, I need to fly on the Tuesday or the Sunday or whatever it happens to be. Just reach out, ask us for help, just tell us what's happened and we'll give you a waiver code so you can reissue the ticket without a date change fee. Now, there's one stipulation on that, and that is if you ask for it in the peak summer or peak Christmas, we're going to have to say no, but we're fair game for the rest of the year. So there's a lot of things there, a lot of time throughout the year when that'll come in really handy for you. The second thing we can do for you is, let's just say you have a family booking and you obviously want to get the best deal for them and you want to, improve your margins. And there are only 3 seats left in the RBD that you wish, and you need 5, for example. Make the booking and then send it to us and ask us for help. And again, if it's outside the peak seasons, we'll overbook the lower classes to make sure that you don't lose those bookings. And that's available in all 3 cabins. And then finally, let's just say you've got somebody in the group and they can't go. You can have a complete name change after the ticket has been issued for 150 Canadian dollars. Again, we don't care what the reason is. If someone wants to swap out in their travel, we will look after you, as I said, for 150 Canadian. Right, so the next thing we can do to help you, and this has been around for a while, but it's fairly new here in the UK. We've only started really promoting it this month, and that's the travel agent resource site. So the website for that is very simple. It's westjetttravelagents.com. And once you log into that site, if you can subscribe to communications, then you'll be the first to know when something is changing at WestJet, if there's a new route, if there's new frequencies, if there's a new schedule, or as we had last month with the pilot labor action, we almost went on strike, but thankfully we managed to avert the strike. But people who were subscribed to the TAR received the updates in real time. So it was a really useful tool for travel agents. The next thing that I want to highlight from the TAR is this scheduling a callback. Now, we know how precious your time is, so you don't want to be left on hold waiting for someone at WestJet to pick up, especially when there's an IROP. So if you log on to the TAR and put into the search box, request a callback, click on the travel agent. You can see there on the left-hand side, and you click on the date on the right-hand side and click on the time that you want to be called. And I trialed this the other day, and I put in a 4 o'clock call for last Thursday, and bang on 4 o'clock, my phone rang and it said WestJet on the screen. So that's a fantastic tool for you as well. Right, so let's move on to the aircraft. What do we have on board and what's included in your fare? So the fleet flying from the UK and Ireland is exclusively a 787 Dreamliner. So it's a wide-bodied aircraft. In your IT fare, for your tour operator fare, there's 1 piece of checked baggage at 23 kilos and a 45-day ticketing time limit. So at the airport, once the guests arrive at the airport, there's a couple of ways they can check in. They can use the app if they're so inclined to, but at the airport, there's a mix of check-in desks, the traditional old-fashioned way, and also the self-service kiosks, except at Gatwick, where it's 100% self-service kiosks. But there are plenty of WestJet staff available to help. So as I said, it's the Dreamliner. So it's a fairly new aircraft for us. The average age of the Dreamliners in the WestJet fleet is only 2.5 years old. It's a 333 standard configuration. There's 276 seats in economy with a 31 to a 35-inch pitch and a 17.5-inch width. The seats with the bigger pitch are rows 7 to 14, and they can be pre-booked once you've issued a ticket using the WestJet app or logging onto westjet.com, or you can call us at APG. You can see there we have 2 meal services. First is a hot meal service with a full bar service. If you have any clients who have special dietary requirements, then make sure you request them at least 24 hours before departure. So if you move on to our premium economy cabin, what's included is everything you'd expect and everything you get in economy plus. There's a dedicated check-in area with 2 pieces of checked baggage. There's priority screening and boarding at the airport. Bags are marked as premium, so at the destination they are offloaded first. Our premium economy is in a separate cabin, so it's not just a space at the front of economy. There's a dedicated galley. Once on board, guests are greeted with welcome drinks, amenity kits, big blankets and pillows and so on, and we distribute the menus on the ground as well, because we like to take the meal orders on the ground, because after takeoff, instead of the traditional meal service, we do not take the trolley into the cabin. We present the meals one by one to each guest. So it's like a restaurant style service. So we will open the tables, dress them with some linen, and then present the meals to our guests one by one. So the seating is 28 seats in premium economy, and it's a 2-3-2 configuration. There are wider seats there with extra legrooms. You can see it's 38-inch pitch and a 19-inch width. The TVs are bigger than they are in economy, and they have fully loaded with TV shows, movies, games, children's TVs, quizzes, computer games. There's loads to keep you entertained as you've crossed the Atlantic. Oh, lost my control, sorry. Now, what's the next cabin is our business class cabin. So what's included with the business class fare? Everything that you get in premium, plus we give you free seat selection in business class. So once you've issued the tickets, you will have your free seat selection in the premium economy and the business class. If our guests are flying from London Heathrow, there is access to the Priority Plus lounge in, the Plaza Premium lounge in Terminal 4. We've just moved to Terminal 4. London Gatwick is the #1 traveller, as it is in Edinburgh. Unfortunately, I need to delete this. Just recently, we have the contract with the lounge in Dublin has not been renewed, so we're working on renewing the contract there at the moment. Once on board, our guests are welcomed with champagne and juices. There's amenity kits, bigger, fluffier blankets and pillows, plus the noise-cancelling headphones. Our business class cabin is very small, so it's kind of like a boutique service. We have 16 individual lie flat seats in a 1-2-1 configuration. So it's 1 by the windows and 2 in the center, and each guest has direct aisle access. So after takeoff, our service on board is very different to other business class carriers, especially crossing the Atlantic, because we believe we're the only airline in North America to offer a dine anytime service in business class. We also offer a full turn down service in business class. So our guests really are treated that little bit more, as I said, like a boutique service. So you can see the beds there in a 1-2-1. It opens up to 78 inches, which is just about 6.5 foot long, fully flat bed. It's very comfortable. I've been lucky enough to experience that. What else? So there's bigger TV screens as well. And there's dedicated cabin crew. So there are 3 cabin crew to our 16 guests. I beg your pardon. So the lounges, briefly mentioned them. This is our flagship lounge. It's available in Calgary International Airport. It is our WestJet Elevation Lounge. So pay attention to this part in particular. If you've got business class guests who wish to use the lounge in Calgary, the lounge is located in the domestic terminal. So once they clear security in the international terminal, they can take the little YYC buggy. So it's like a little golf buggy that runs through the center of the terminal, or it's about a 15-minute walk. At London Gatwick, as I said, our lounge is the #1 traveller in the North Terminal. In Heathrow, it is the Plaza Premium Lounge. And I just wanted to finish up with this. We have extended our stopover built into the fare. So it's just recently gone from 7 nights to 21 nights, because we've recognized that Brits like to go to Canada for a longer period of time. So if they land into Calgary, they can do up to 21 nights touring the Rockies, doing Lake Louise, Banff, Jasper, heading their way down to Vancouver before they return home, or even cross the border into the US. And that's it from WestJet. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sean. Lots of love coming your way now, Sean. There we go.
That. I'm going to be blushing now.
Oh,
Sorry, there's one from the slide here. If you want to contact us, the email address is very, very simple. It's westjet@apg-ga.co.uk.